Since this is the first long-form video I'm doing on a game, might as well do it on one of my favorites, Ace Combat 4 Shattered Skies. And it was recently announced that the Ace Combat series is getting its 8th installment. So I decided to recently play through this game again, and I remembered how much I enjoyed it. But before we get into the story, let's read the back of the box. Strap yourself into the cockpit and prepare for supersonic excitement. The world is at war and your dogfighting skills will be put to the test. It is time to experience the turn and burn action that only Ace Combat 4 Shattered Skies can deliver. From the crushing G-forces to the non-stop aerial sorties, find your target and lock on. You have permission to fire. It also says it has true action shooter with an engaging storyline, 18 ferocious fighters, 18 adrenaline-soaked missions, 3 incredible perspectives, first-person cockpit and third-person, breathtaking graphics with photorealistic 3D environments, replay mode displays your greatest combat moments, 2-player head-to-head, and aerial combat, plus much more. At the end of the video, we'll see if they actually have all of these things in the game. Before we get into the story, I just want to say, major spoiler warning. If you want to play this game for yourself and you want to go in blind, skip to this time right here. Anyway, here's the story. The year is 2004, and the world is at war. As the Kingdom of Erusea pushes the independent state Allied forces off of the mainland, this is mainly caused by their use of Stonehenge, a former asteroid defense system that has been turned into an anti-aircraft weapon, and a lethal one at that, giving the Erusians complete control over the airspace above the mainland. This forces ISAF to move all its remaining units to North Point, including Mobius 1.
Your call sign is Mobius 1. We'll refer to you by this name at all times.
Who is immediately sent out to stop bombers from destroying North Point. A couple weeks later, it's found that a large group of Erusian bombers have been deployed to Wrigley Air Base, and an even larger attack on North Point seems to be imminent. In response, ISAF sends planes to destroy the bombers while they're parked on the ground, reducing the chance of an attack on North Point to 0. As forces continue to retreat, a radar facility on the top of Mount Chesna prevents the safe evacuation of most of the force, until Mobius 1 destroys it, preventing the enemy from stopping the evacuation. Later, it's discovered that large amounts of troops and supplies are being moved into Comberth Harbor, home of the invincible Aegir fleet, as the Erusians are planning a massive attack on North Point, with the Aegir fleet at its center.
If the Erusians complete their troop preparations and the Aegir fleet sets sail, this will bring about our defeat in this war.
The transport planes have to be destroyed in order to slow down preparations, giving ISAF more time to actually figure out a plan to stop the fleet. The plan ISAF puts forward is the destruction of fuel depots that supply the Aegir fleet, with one group going for the main oil refinery and another going for an offshore oil rig. After both facilities are destroyed, the Yellow Squadron, the top fighters of the Erusian Air Force, arrive.
Mobius 1, heavy group hot. Appears to be 5 targets in the group.
With ISAF taking heavy losses. But the destruction of the fuel reserves leaves the Aegir fleet effectively immobilized. This gives ISAF the once-in-a-lifetime chance to sink the invincible fleet while it's at anchor, and an attack on Comberth Harbor begins, ending in the complete annihilation of the Aegir fleet, along with most of the harbor facilities. This marks a turning point in the war, as now ISAF is on the offensive. Strikes are then carried out on nuclear and solar power facilities to cripple Erusia's industrial power. But the attack is interrupted by a strike from Stonehenge.
Attention all aircraft. Incoming from Stonehenge. Confirmed on radar. Drop below 2,000 feet and head south to exit combat area.
Forcing the ISAF fighters to dive into the canyons to avoid getting knocked out. After this, a recon satellite is sent to be launched at a rocket base. In response, the Erusians sent as many fighters as they can muster to stop the launch, resulting in an air battle at a massive scale. They also send bombers to destroy the facility, but the attack failed and the satellite is launched. Mobius 1 is slowly gaining popularity from other pilots, one of which is leader of the Yellow Squadron, Yellow Number 13, who sees him as a worthy adversary if he continues to survive. Launching the satellite was in preparation for the most daring operation yet, Operation Bunker Shot, with the ground forces needed to secure 3 beaches, those being Crown Beach, Hale Beach, and Kuranda Beach, with the air support needed to reduce the casualties on the ground. After ISAF forces have landed on the beach, Erusian A-10s have them pinned. That is until Mobius 1 and other aircraft take them out, and are thanked heavily by the people on the ground.
This is Sergeant Collins. I've taken over command of Unit B. Tell them thanks for the supporting fire.
The next target is the Isthmus Fortress, which sits in the mountains on the Tango Line, which is a hard to penetrate defensive line thanks to the mountains. It is also in the range of Stonehenge, which fires on the ISAF planes.
10 seconds to impact. 8, 7, 6, 5. All aircraft hit the deck and prepare for impact. Enemy vessel sunk. Enemy facility destroyed. Radar degraded. Like this. Descend to lower altitude.
Eventually the line does indeed fall, clearing the way for the ground troops into the mainland. Later, 2 commercial airliners filled with engineers who worked on Stonehenge are flying towards the ISAF border. The engineers wish to defect, and Erusian fighters are currently trying to shoot them down, knowing full well that the airliners contain civilians.
This is Air Ixiom Flight 701. We're carrying civilians. Don't shoot!
Despite the efforts of Erusian fighters, both passenger planes make it to the border safely, with ISAF now having more knowledge about how to destroy Stonehenge. They use this newfound knowledge to launch an offensive on Stonehenge, where it's destroyed quite easily.
Target destroyed! I repeat, Mobius 1 has destroyed the target. Yahoo!
Then the Yellow Squadron, who were supposed to be defending Stonehenge, finally show up.
It looks like we've got company.
With Mobius 1 taking out Yellow Number 4, who is Yellow 13's wingman. With Stonehenge now smoldering, strikes into Erusian territory are now very much easier, but a U-2 spy plane returning from a reconnaissance mission is having problems, and Mobius 1 is needed to escort it. After destroying the radar jamming balloons and some enemy fighters, it is revealed that the reconnaissance plane has returned with evidence of a new weapon, a replacement for Stonehenge called Megalith, giving incentive to have the war over before it's constructed. Since Stonehenge is no longer a threat, ISAF troops are landing on the northern shores. The Erusians send missiles to stop them, but Mobius 1 destroys them all, while also seeing a lone fighter plane in the distance, which he is told not to engage.
Do not engage enemy fighters. Concentrate on shooting down the missile. 50 miles and closing.
Next, ISAF will liberate the city of San Salvation, which is where the Yellow Squadron is based. Resistance fighters end the blackout over the city, allowing the fighters to have an easier shot, while facing heavy resistance from tanks and anti-tank helicopters. Then a large formation of bombers is sent to level the city, but is destroyed, liberating the city and forcing the Yellow Squadron to retreat. The Allies are now closing in on the capital of Erusia, now reaching the Whiskey Corridor, their last line of defense. The fighters mostly destroy the tanks on the ground, as this is mainly a tank-on-tank engagement. And by this point, Mobius 1 has become some sort of a hero to the ground troops, boosting morale whenever flying past. With the line at Whiskey Corridor now smashed, the road to the enemy's capital is now open. At this point, the enemy is getting very desperate, with the Erusians setting up their makeshift HQ in the city of Farbanti under a landfill. ISAF has to take the city fast before Megalith goes active, with strikes from the air and ground on tanks, battleships, and planes, all by cutting off the enemy by destroying bridges and other infrastructure. Erusian High Command tries to flee, but is immediately shot down, and finally, the Yellow Squadron appears, with Mobius 1 being sent out to destroy all of them.
You can end this war.
Mobius 1 then proceeds to destroy every single Yellow, with the last being Yellow Number 13.
Mobius 1 shot down the 5 aircraft that appeared. Air superiority is ours. You made it through alive, Mobius 1.
As the Erusians surrender, their leader is found dead.
Attention all Erusian troops! Cease fighting and surrender at the following. The Central Park Tennis Court. The National Library's courtyard fountain. Hey Martin, this is the patrol unit. We found a woman and girl suffering in one of the choppers that got left behind. So it looks like the male officers remain really big rank of civilians. Relay that on to HQ, will ya?
Somehow, a small group of Erusian officers escaped, ending up at the newly constructed megalith. Mobius 1 and the newly created Mobius Squadron are sent to destroy it.
Mobius 2 on standby. Mobius 3 through 7 on standby. Mobius 8 on standby. Preparations are complete, ready for battle. All aircraft follow Mobius 1.
This is achieved through a very daring plan involving going through ventilation ducts to destroy generators, along with the trust that a unit of commandos will open the hatch allowing you to escape, which ends up happening just as the last missile is destroyed.
Target destroyed! There it is! We've got Mobius 1 on radar! Bravo 1 here. That plane that flew in, is it alright? Yes, he's fine. I've got a visual on him right now. So, did we win the war? I don't know. History determines the winner. But there's one thing I can say for certain. Heroes really do exist. We've just seen one, and now he's coming home.
And that is the end of the story. The story is actually one of my favorite parts about the game, but there's plenty more we gotta talk about. One of the things that I don't really like about this game is how many times they say Mobius 1. Like, it's excessive. The ground forces in this game treat you like you're the only plane ever to exist. Especially towards the end of the game, where Mobius 1 is said pretty often. It might be funny at first, but at like the 10th or 12th time, it really starts to get annoying.
Mobius 1. 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 Mobius 1
But I do understand, if one pilot is taking out hundreds of planes, a lot of people would see them as their only hope. The only other kind of nitpicky thing I have to say about this game is in a few of the missions, it's just you being sent out. For example, the mission Escort, where Mobius 1 is the only one sent to defend the two planes. This is even referenced in some dialogue. I find it a little confusing that it's you, just you, being sent out to stop the Erusians from destroying these planes. Like, couldn't they get a couple more? That's all the negative stuff I have to say about this game, so let's get to the positive stuff. Let's start off with the gameplay. Oh boy, I love the gameplay in this game. All the fighters are very good in this game. And yes, I counted. There are indeed 18 fighters in this game. Meaning yes, one of the things they advertised is true. Though I did say this earlier, I love the story, including the fact that it takes up 18 missions, which is a pretty long game, and it's a good enough game that I've played it 3 times over the past year. Out of all the games I have, I think I've played through Ace Combat 4 the most out of any other game. Another great thing in Ace Combat 4 is the soundtrack. They had no reason to make the soundtrack as good as it is, but they did, and I thank them heavily for it. Here are a couple of my favorites. Another great part of Ace Combat 4's gameplay is the variety of missions, with some missions requiring specialized planes like the A-10 Warthog. Not every mission in Ace Combat 4 is like, oh, go take out the planes, oh, go take out the tanks. Some are completely random. Like this one mission called Safe Return, where you have to guide a wounded spy plane out of enemy territory. Before I tell you my final thoughts, let's see if they actually included everything they advertised on the back of the box. The story It is very engaging. There are indeed 18 fighters, there are 18 missions, there are indeed 3 perspectives, but the graphics are not photorealistic. This may be pretty nitpicky considering this is 2001 graphics, but tell me, which one is real life and which one is Ace Combat 4? But for the time, the graphics in this game look pretty good. Just look at these buildings in the mission Invincible Fleet. They actually look really good considering this is a PlayStation 2 game. But the rest of the map is pretty much just a PNG on the ground. There is indeed a replay mode, and there is 2-player head-to-head, though I haven't played it because I don't have a second controller. Meaning pretty much all of the requirements were met. In conclusion, Ace Combat is a great game with a great story and wonderful gameplay. But the fact they say Mobius won so much makes me dock off 1 point, giving it a final rating of 9 out of 10.
Mobius 1, Fox 2.
Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more. Peace.